morning, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. We are the second group of design thinking, and let's see our business case. As the previous group said, we work on lymphedema, which is a chronic disease, and the patient has a higher risk to contract this disease after surgery, where there is a removal of the glands. So, for example, after breast cancer. And lymphedema is a dysfunction of the lymphatic system where we have a leak of lymphatic liquid in the muscles. The main symptoms that our patient has are the different sensibility in the part and also a swelling. Our challenge is inside our How Might We. The first How Might We is about the identification of the disease through some measurement that must be reliable and at the same time easier, because nowadays we have the normal measurement tape to find the different diameter of the part. And the second How Might We is about a better transfer of knowledge, so give the right information at the right moment to our patient in the way that they can find the disease in the earlier stages.
Right, so what is it that we offer now to be able to solve these challenges to begin with? Well, first off, to even identify lymphedema early, you do use simple measuring tape, which lacks standardization and it's not easy to use for single patients at home. We then have developed a pretty simple product, if you bring up the first bullet points, that has use of the existing technologies today on the market. It's a rather cheap components to build, and it's standardized measurements and has all the user friendliness we need. Combine this product with the application that we will always be able to have an online form for all patients and the nurses to use, to always be able to keep track where the disease are and how we might be able to stop it.
Yes. So as you can see, we choose a clean canvas as our methodology, and we had a detailed one, but now I'm just focused on certain points as problem, solution, advantages, and or channels. So what we found out based on our interview and some market research that we done, there are some long waiting time. For example, in Blekinge there are around 250 patients, but there is just one resource who take care of their measurements and all of this stuff. And since it's done in the classic way, we find out somehow it's not inaccurate as we might need it. So what we come up with is a standardized measurement tool, which you will see in very soon. And also what we find out, the real-time information is not important, but the trend. So we try to find out that the patient can use the device solely without helping others, and also communicate the data to the admin panel of a nurse or doctor to see the trend of patient in case he or she goes to the red line. So what our advantages is, well, it's user-friendly, also accuracy, and patient can use it without helping of others. So no need to wait for someone else, or no need to go to the hospital or wherever they have to go. So our channels, well, based on Swedish system, we just narrow it down to Blekinge. So Landstinget Blekinge is the umbrella of take care of the patients. Also, there will be direct sales available if someone wants to buy it for themselves or use it for another reason. When we go to the value proposition, we mixed up with our products and the communication system. So as you can see, our products, we call it Controlymph, and also it's merged with the application for the communication, those measurement data. Because the patients should, every 4 centimeters, they have to make a measurements 2 times a day. So that trend today is done on the paper. They do the measurements, they write it down, and next visit they show it to the nurse. But now everything can be done automatically. Well, then what we have on the customer side, measurements, routine checks, and also sending a message in case that needs it. So it's also easy and facilitate communication in case of necessity. So what we gain is less worries about the disease, ease of use, and also it's more accurate and standard. And then, there are some other things in the market, but they are not for home usage. So the patient cannot have them at home. That's why being less expensive or saving time is important for us. And then, you can do the offline measurements and also multiple step process in the current classic situation. Yeah.
Okay, and let's see who are the competitors. Actually now there are some similar products in the market which work on based on other technologies. For example, this one is a pyrometer scanner which scans the arm or limb and can measure the volume of the affected part. And the other one is, you can see, is an IR scanner, which again scans the arm based on an IR beam and stuff like that. And the other one is BIS, or bioimpedance spectrometry, which measures the liquid inside the limb, and based on this measurement can say that the condition is bad or good or something like that. But we have some competitive advantages in compared to those solutions. We, as Tobias said, the product that we have developed is not that complicated technologically. So the development cost is not that much, it's very low. And it has the capability of high volume production. So the market, we can say the market is at least very big in compared to the other solutions. And the main advantage is that our solution is a human-centered design. We developed it from the design thinking approach, and where the people are in our main focus. So it's not that easy to copy the solution. It's a combination and integration of product, service, and so it's kind of hard to copy these kind of solutions. Yeah.
In this part, the risk assessment is done. Some important risks have been listed here, and that the risk is divided into 2 parts. And the technical risk is the mechanical breakdown of the product part, and the lack of experiment testing. And also in the cost risk, in the lack of the marketing information, and also full cost estimation. That just without lack of the time, just we selected the most important one in the technical and the cost risk.
Exactly. Yeah, and to sum up the presentation, we also figured out some business opportunities. We figured out that 1.3% of the Swedish population lives with lymphedema, and yeah, regarding to 9.8 million people are living in Sweden in 2015. It will be approximately 130,000 people, and just assuming that we will get a market share of 25% with this product, and a product cost of 500 SEK per product, we would have a revenue of 15 million SEK, which is, regarding the market share, quite a lot market. And yeah, to fulfill this, what do we need to introduce our product into the market? What we already did, we defined our target group, which is like people with lymphedema and also middle age, since there's the main people who suffers from the disease. And we also identified our competitors and their success, as you've seen in the previous slides from Sade. And yeah, to fulfill our market introduction, we should know how to best position or how to best brand the prototype and how to position the product in the market best. Exactly. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
How complicated with the manufacturing process in this?
Making the new product.
Yeah.
As you can see from this prototype right here, it's just a 3D printed plastic model with a small electric motor in. The motor itself is made of the little bits, so producing it, you just stick a motor in it and the necessary sensors and a small display on it, which makes manufacturing pretty much as easy as any simple electronic device you see today. You could see it as a lot simpler than any mobile phone you have.
Yeah, when I see that there is also similar kind of ways of measuring malnutrition in children in poor countries. Did that occur to you? I mean, that the same kind of product can be used for that kind of because they just have simple measuring bands, and it's commonly you measure wrong. I saw one on Saturday, actually, a new one of these strips. So looking into other markets, so to speak, might be interesting for you as well.
Yeah, I was just thinking about. I think we looked at similar products. They use almost the same technology, but for very different usage.
Yeah.
And I don't think they didn't even think about using it in this case.
No.
So there are definitely other ways we can do it, but we have mainly focused on making it standardized so that we can help more people to keep their disease or condition in check.
Yeah. I also think that, I mean, it's not a question, more like a statement, but I mean, one of the most important thing with healthcare is like if you bring it into the homes of people and people can self-monitor and you know, I don't know, but basically manage their health at home rather than going to the hospital and getting a diagnosis and getting some treatment and stuff like that. It's obviously, you're going to save a lot of money. And people get sick when they get into the hospital. So if they were not sick before, they will get sick because they meet other people that are sick. So being able to stay at home with cheap devices that they can manage their health with, it's obviously also a great cost saver for society. But how much cheaper, so to speak, compared to the alternatives?
The alternative you first saw, the biggest scan in Australia, is very complicated device. The thing is that, sure, this would be a bit more expensive than a normal measuring tape, but it kind of overweights in its usage, because if you have lymphedema in your left arm, you won't be able to use the measuring tape the way and do it as accurate as you need. This device itself, it's one hand, and you just press one button and move it the way you need, and it will be done in less than a minute. While a measuring tape, it can take you several minutes, maybe close to half an hour or 45 minutes. This itself will actually make people do the measurements at home, because today they recommend it, but they know that people don't want to do it because it takes so much time and they don't really want to think about it.
Yeah, good.
So the whole point is mixture of the product and the application. Give the admin panel to the healthcare services and also the patients. So both of them are in the same page regarding the information and trends.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look to the Blaking, 250 people and one resources, it's also costly and takes time for them to visit the lady to see
Exactly.
things are works. But now they can check the data sheet, or they can like a dashboard every day or every week
Yeah.
to see which patient are on the red line or green zone
Yeah.
or yellow zone. So it's there are lots of costs for the per visits,
Mm.
patient per visit.
Mm.
So at least we reduced. If we reduce one of those numbers,
Yeah.
when we multiply by 250, so at the end of the year we save lots of time.
Yeah.
And it just costs around maybe 500 excluded tax.
And just want to say that one of the big points with healthcare as well is adherence. So if you do not take these measurements, it's kind of worthless, right? So if you have to go in to the hospital to take these measurements, because that's the only way you can make it. I mean, it's not good. So if you kind of ramp up the number of measurements being made, you've already saved money.
Based on our understanding, you cannot stop the disease, but
Mm.
you can manage it.
Mm.
At least you can make the progress speed a little slower,
Mm.
or have more domination on it, based on, because the patient should do it every 4 centimeter, and if they have a hand problem, they are in Karsam. If they have a leg problem, they will be in Karlskrona. So even
Yeah.
there will be some transport in between,
Mm.
in case that they have to come from different cities.
And for you, I mean, are you going to continue developing this, or are you kind of leaving it on the shelf here and walking out? What's the thought?
Then
You haven't decided.
We haven't decided,
No.
but
No.
there is opportunity for it. Definitely.
Yeah.